Hey, it's Tara. I want to talk about the fact that so many people think they can't change. They're used to their anxiety, they're used to feeling depressed, they're used to feeling obsessive about things, they're used to being a pessimist, and they just write it off as being, that's just the way that I am. So it's just the way that you are today. It's just the way that you have chosen to survive your childhood, like we all have. We've adopted techniques, coping strategies. Our brains have been kind of wired up a certain way. And at any point in your life, you can actually change that. You can rewire your entire nervous system. You can create new neural pathways, and you can change anything you want about yourself. It does take work because those other pathways developed for some of us a really long time ago. So it's not like we can just pull them apart and put them back together in a different way. But your brain is moldable. It's called neuroplasticity for a reason. We have the opportunity to change our perceptions, how we function in the world, how our vision, so much about how we operate while we're here with the challenges that we have. And it's unfortunate that usually the path of least resistance is a negative pathway, and that's the pathway that most people choose. And then they blame that state as being a permanent state on temporary events that happen that overwhelm their nervous system. Really, the best way to do this work is to get into session with somebody that does self-regulation therapy and get some psychotherapy to actually build new neural pathways in your brain to change. However, in addition to therapy, it's not just about showing up and hoping that you're going to be magically transformed. And sometimes clients feel that way, and then they're frustrated because, well, I'm coming every week. How come I'm not transformed? It takes time. The brain is quick to injure, slow to heal, and it takes more than just 50 minutes a week in session with somebody that knows what they're doing to help guide you through this process to make permanent lasting change. But there's 3 things that you can do on your own if you want to do the work. If you're sick and tired of yourself, which happens when you're sick and tired of feeling a certain way, there are some things that you can do. So the 3 areas to address, the 3 things that you should start looking at is, the first one is who you spend time with. The second one is what you consume, and the third one is who you choose to be. So the first one, who you spend time with, so dramatically important. It can change everything. If you're around people of a certain income level, of a certain depression level, of a certain anxiety level, of a certain level of health in general, we become the average of the people that we spend the most time with. So look at the people that you spend time with. Are they bringing you up? Are they dragging you down? Are they keeping you stuck where you are? Because that's an important indicator of how far you're going to get in your own progress. And it's not just about behavior and the fact that we kind of match the people that we're with that way in our mannerisms. It's about the fact that our nervous systems literally bounce off of one another. They attune to one another. So if you're around people that are successful and positive and healthy, your nervous system is going to attune to that and start becoming more like that. So look at the people that you spend time with. Do you want to be more like them? Do you want to have a life like they have? Nobody's perfect, but do they have qualities you admire? Are they a positive force in your life? Look at that and start making assessments of who you need to bring closer into your life, the positive influences, and who you need to move out to the periphery or cut out altogether. It's essential that you support your own change and growth with people that you want to become more like. And this is one of the first places you can do it, and you can start making changes in that just by spending time with different people. And that's not even work. That just starts to happen on its own. So that's the first thing. The second thing, this is really important, it's critical, is to be a manager of what you consume. And by that I mean not just food, water, fresh air, supplements. I'm also talking about what you consume into your psyche, what you are looking at, what you are reading, what you are experiencing. Keep those things healthy and positive. And so that means paying particular attention to, again, the changes that you want to make. If you want to be more positive, if you want to be less anxious, you shouldn't be watching the news. You shouldn't be watching horror movies. You shouldn't be going on roller coasters. Not right now. All of those things initiate a fight or flight response in the body by experience. So the things that we're watching, that we're witnessing, that we're consuming into our minds are changing our perspective on the world. They're also changing our perspective on ourselves, and they're changing the way that our nervous system can even regulate. So if you're looking to make changes, look at what's healthy to consume. So that would be not things that are dark and scary, not things that are mimicking the tragedies in the world, not the news for sure, not pornography. You're not consuming high inflammatory foods and things that are going to cause more activation. You're not consuming recreational drugs that are going to cause activation in your nervous system. You're going to even look at the prescriptions that you're taking and look at the side effects and make sure that's not impacting your ability to grow and change into the direction that you want. So consumables are things that you eat and drink, things that you experience, things that you're saturating your brain with. Instead, choose a healthy lifestyle. Choose to immerse yourself in the material that replicates what you want, the qualities that you want in your life. So podcasts and audiobooks and good reading material and positive things. If you want to be more positive, if you want to be happier, whatever it is you want to be, go out and find a book or 10 books and saturate your brain in what you want to become, and your brain will start to organize to become that. Same with what you listen, same with what you watch. Watch and listen to only things that are measuring, that are matching what you want to become, so that it will give your brain an easier chance of doing that. It'll start to look at things a little more positively with a little different perspective. It's one thing that people neglect, and it's really important because what we passively absorb has way more of an impact than we even realize. The last thing is, who do you choose to be? And this is all of these pieces wrapped into one. You can think about who you really want to be. Spend some time really thinking about who you want to be, how you want to feel, how you want people to see you in the world. And then look at how it's different from how you are, feel, and are represented in the world right now. You get to change at any time. It's magic. You get to change anything that you don't like about yourself by intentionally deciding, if I want to be this way, I'm going to start thinking as if I am this way. I'm going to start behaving as if I am this way. I'm going to spend time with people that are this way. I'm going to read about how to be this way. I'm going to be immersed in things that are more like this state that I'm seeking to achieve. All of those things will help any of the other work that you do and pave the way for it to be an easier set of transition. It won't even feel like work. You just start filtering. You start making choices. If you know somebody that is close to who you would want to be, if you could remodel your entire self, every situation that you're in, think, how would this person handle it? How would this person negotiate through this? How would this person look at this? A lot of it is choosing your perspective. So if naturally you think of doom and gloom and that the world's going to end and that everything in your life is shit and nothing's ever going to change for you, then it will never change for you. It will always be thus. If you adopt a different perspective, which is, I'm going to look for the good in everything. This is a setback. This is a challenge. You change your language to yourself. If I were a different person, how would I get through this? If I were a positive person, a stronger person, a more resilient person, how would I get through this? Fast forward yourself 10 years down the road and ask yourself, how do I want to tell this story about how I got through this time of difficulty? What kind of story do I want to say about myself in terms of, I got to this point in my life, I didn't like who I was or how I was handling things or how I saw the world or how I talked to myself or how I felt about myself. And so I decided to change it and realize that I had the power to do so, and this is what I did. And now I did this, and now I am this. You tell yourself that story, you create those scenes in your mind, your brain starts to organize to make that easier for you to achieve. It is work, but this is not hard work. This is just being a little more selective, not being passive in your life, and being an active participant in changing your brain into the way you want it to operate to serve you best. You're not a victim in this life. You're not a victim to your thoughts and emotions. You can change at any time. Just get the help to do it and use some of these practical strategies. I hope this mini lecture has helped. I hope these 3 things are things that you can write down on a sheet of paper every day and start putting down one thing in each of those sections that you're going to change. Again, who you spend time with, what you consume, and who you choose to be. And I would love to see what that list looks like. So share it with me if you do this exercise. Be an active participant in changing your own brain and changing your life. Tell me how you're doing. Until next time.